Hello, it's Mr. Rio here on Wednesday morning at 9:30. I am live on Zoom right now from home, but there are no students here to join me. I know we're kind of new at this and posting this, and I did put in there that it's mainly for the C group, which may not have checked their Google Classroom yet this week, though they should have. They should be checking it every day, at least Monday through Friday. But having said that, I'm going to cover what I was going to cover anyway, and I'm recording this so I can post a recording for you to see. And then hopefully the C group students, those who can make it, I understand some people. Oh, there's one coming to join me now. And I'll wait just here a moment. Oh, we got a couple of joining us now. Okay, that sounds good. Hello, Brody. How you doing?
Hello.
You can go ahead and go in the chat and just put a hello or hi or something like that. Same with you, Zach. Good morning. If you can go in the chat and put a hello or hi or hola even. I already started recording, even though I didn't have anybody here. I didn't know if anybody was going to show up, but either way, I wanted to cover mainly stuff for the C group. And the reason I say that is because the group that comes on H days, Monday and Tuesday, I've already covered kind of, this main stuff they need to know for the week. But since they recommend we do a Zoom anyway on Wednesdays, and especially for the group that hasn't arrived yet this week in person, or people absent on Monday and Tuesday. So welcome you two. I don't know if anyone else is going to join us, but I am recording this, so some people I understand have a they might have a conflict with another Zoom class or something like that. So this is kind of informal. So if you guys got a question along the way, just feel free to ask. And if you put it in the chat, I'll get to it eventually, but I may not see it right away because when I'm sharing screens and stuff like that, I don't always see the chat at the same time. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go over what's going on here this week. I'm at home this morning. I got my little setup here at home. And I'm just going to cut right. I don't want to take real long, probably take about 10, 15 minutes. I want to get you guys off to a good start for this week here. Okay, here's our Google Classroom. And as always, everybody, and especially the C group that's not in person on Monday or Tuesday, should be logging in on Tuesday or Monday. And I post everything usually Sunday night or first thing Monday morning. So whatever's for the week is going to be posted by then. And of course, announcements like that come up here can come up anytime. So it's important to make sure you follow that and keep up on that and read all the announcements. When you do an assignment, read all the directions. If there's tutorials or tips or whatever, do all that. Make your life a lot easier. Okay, so we are in. First of all, I haven't graded anything yet from week one. I literally just finished first semester's grades. I had a ton of stuff to do on Sunday. And then I had to get all the assignments up for this week and everything for these classes. So I'm going to be working on grades a little later today. So I should get all the most, if not everything, from last week graded, which isn't a lot. There's just a few introductory things we did last week. So if you're wondering what's happening with the grades, I will be hopefully getting most, if not all, the first week stuff graded later today. For this week here's what's going on. I'll go through these one at a time. I'll start with the one due tomorrow. We might say, Mr. Rio, we don't even come till Thursday, but this is virtual also. It's not just in person. So you're still responsible the days that you're not there. Okay, what is this assignment about? It's called Teens and Social Media. It's worth 30 points. And there's two videos, and this one's only 6 minutes long by a high school girl talking about technology and social media. And oh, looks like something's trying to come through on my phone.
Sorry, that was mine.
Oh, it's somebody's phone. Yeah, not my phone. Yep. Okay. Yep. So what's going on here is then there's another video here, 14 minutes. So you read these directions, watch these videos, and if you click here, there's going to be several different types of assignments. Some assignments I give, you'll have all the directions in detail here, and you'll have to make like your own Google Doc. Okay. So you just open up a Google Doc. Now, if you want to get real technical, if you want to make a Word document, I don't care, but most people use Google Docs. It works really good. A lot of times I will what's called make a copy of a document, which means I have this one here, the main directions or what you actually need to do is on this here that I shared with all of you. So if you click on that, it should open up like this, and you can just click in here and type in all your stuff and then submit it. So a lot of the assignments we do, not all of them, but a lot of them will be like this. Now if you do see one like this and you want to make a separate doc and just put in the answers, just number it, put the name of the video or the assignment, your name at the top, and put in all your answers in a logical way that goes with this. Okay. But that's the assignment that goes with those two videos. It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory, and I think you'll find the topic interesting. Okay. And like I said, a lot of the assignments that we do in here in sociology for the semester are not just about the current chapter we're in. We're kind of always simultaneously doing the current chapter, and we do assignments connected to the current chapter. And then we do things more in general about social issues, social problems, things like that. So this one is about social media. Okay. And I think you'll find that quite interesting. It's not too hard for 30 points. And this is due tomorrow. Now, whenever it's due on a given day, that means midnight. So just get in by midnight tomorrow and you're okay. Another thing while I'm on the topic of due dates, I want everyone to do you should be getting everything done, do quality work and get it done on time. And no, that's it. Now, if something unusual comes up, you're sick, your family has to go out of town, there's a death in the family you got to deal with, or something like that, by all means, get in touch with me. My contact info is up here. If you go right there, you can text me at this number right here. You can email me at this number right here. It's always going to be here at the top. It's always going to be there, easy to find. This is probably my Zoom link most of the time. I use the same Zoom room over and over, but on rare occasion, it might put up a different one for some weird reason. So I always post it in the stream for you to find me. And then, of course, you got questions on assignments or anything like that. Text me, email me. Either one's fine. I check them both and all the time. Okay. So that's the first assignment. Now, the second assignment goes with here. So I'm going to jump first over to here, and I changed the due date of both of these into next week. And that's partially for the C group, that even if a well-meaning C group student got started on this, and I am going to use some class time for this. So the 2 days you come, the next 2 days, we're going to be doing parts of both of these assignments, but it'll make more sense if I go over this one first and then go over this one second. And like I said, I moved the due date into next week, Thursday, but that doesn't mean don't get started on it. By all means, do get started on it. And tomorrow in class, we'll be getting started in both. So let me go to the first one. This is our chapter 1. So we don't have a textbook. Okay. So how does this work? Well, I have directions here about making a slideshow from these notes. Let me open up the notes first. This is a PDF of the notes. This is our chapter 1. And by the way, all of these notes come out of a sociology textbook, chapter 1. So these are not just random notes. If you were to go take a class in sociology wherever, college or wherever, this is the kind of stuff you're going to find right out of it. It's got the key terms, concepts, people, events. Now, chapter 1 is basically what is sociology. So you're going to be making, most people use Google Slides. So I'll say Google Slides. But if you really want to make a PowerPoint or really want to make a Apple Keynote, that's okay. It's more or less the same thing. But for the sake of argument, I'm just simply going to always refer to it as Google Slides. So, but you're going to it's got these numbered. And you don't have to number the slides because they will number automatically as you make them. Okay. So when I go to check your work, I'll look to see if you got the right number of slides. You're going to make a title slide that says, what is sociology, chapter 1, and put your name on it. Pretty self-explanatory. Actually, what I recommend when you do this, probably the first time through, is just put all your text down on each slide. Now, if there's a key term like, say, anthropology, that should be at the top in the title. You know how after when you make a slides, after the first slide, they all have that like kind of title with a bulleted list. This would be like the title anthropology. And then in the bulleted list, which a lot of these you just need one bullet because it's a definition or whatever. You can have like, is the comparative study of past and present cultures. Now, some of them, like down here, sociological perspective, will actually have 3 different things for bullets. Okay. Now, you might say, Mr. Rio, could we copy and paste from this? Yes. That's fine. If it copies off of this view here, which is when you first open it, great. You can now remember these are 2 different things. This would go in the title, and this would go in the bulleted part underneath. Now, I had students in the past that ignored that kind of stuff and just would copy the whole thing, paste it in, wherever, and kind of throw it together in a sloppy manner. And of course, they did not get full credit. If it's worth 50 points and someone throws something sloppy together and doesn't follow a criteria and doesn't seem to care, it's certainly not worth anywhere near 50 points. So don't give up what I call gimme points. It's not hard to do a good job and make it look good. And but I don't mind you copy and pasting. I mean, it's not a secret. That could save you some time. And if you prefer, open this in one window, open up your Google slide in another window, or even use 2 different devices if you want. And you can look at one while typing up the other if you want to do it that way. Whatever works for you. In the tech world, in my other classes I teach, like web design, video production, there's a term we have called workflow. Workflow means you come up with a system that's efficient. You want to do quality work, you want to do it quickly. So come up with a workflow that works for you. And I'm telling you right up front here, you want to copy and paste, go for it. And then after you do that, you can edit and adjust it later. Now, for some weird reason, you open this here up and you can't copy out of the first window, which seemed like it happened sometime. Before you panic, go up here. Whoops. I don't know what I did there. I'll open this back up. Okay. Go up here where these 3 little dots are. If you can see that up here. If you click that, it says open in new window. And when you open it, it's going to look almost the same, except now you got a download button, and that's okay. That's good if you want to download for some reason, which you can. But also sometime in the second window, students who had trouble copying and pasting from the first window were able to copy and paste just fine from this window. Okay, or you can download it and open it up in another PDF reader, which might make it easy to copy and paste too. So whatever works for you is okay for me as far as that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. So that's your terms. That's your main notes. Now, what is this over here? This is another PDF. This here is a sample. And I'm actually going to get another sample because this is a student sample that they made. And there's some good things about this sample. It's not a bad sample, but it's not my best one. So I'm going to try to look for some better sample. But this got at least the basics on it. The student has a title slide here, and I changed their name to your name. So put in your name. I'll talk about the graphics and photos after. One thing is you go through, and this person did a layout where a lot of their slides look like this. They have a definition on the left and a picture on the right. For some, that may work okay, but for a lot of them, it might be better to put your picture underneath and then put the definition up above. But either way, the key term or concept or whatever should be at the top. This should be in the title area of your slide and then your definition underneath. Now, if you want to redo the text box and have it be on the left or on the right or up here and then put a picture or image underneath, any of those, as long as it looks reasonably good, is okay. Also, if you may notice, I want the key terms, and this is in the directions. I want you to vary colors. Now, you don't have to sweat it out. Just randomly go through and do reds and greens and blues and purples and whatever. It makes it a lot more interesting. See where anthropology down here is a different color than sociology. Yeah, it's one of the last things you can do. Here's psychology and so forth. Now, you might say, what about those images, Mr. Rio? What images do I find? Well, just start with, do a Google search. I recommend using Google. And say you put in what is sociology, or if you're not sure, just find an image of people because it's ultimately going to be about people. So whether you want to, you can try different type of searches. You just try to imagine what picture might be good there. And I'm not real picky, just, a lot of these, if you got people, that would be okay. Now, this is kind of an interesting one because it's got not just people, but they're different colors. And that to me isn't solely about race or ethnic group. That could also be about some differences. It could be religion, it could be age, it could be men and women, whatever it may be. But you're trying to, and they're also in little groups. So this is kind of an interesting picture for what is sociology. This one here, someone found one where it's kind of like a magnifying glass with images. That looks pretty cool. You're just kind of studying people. But obviously, there's all kind of different types of pictures that would be fine for that. Anthropology, someone probably just did a search, found a lot of times anthropology about ancient groups or real remote type tribes, but it could be about any study of culture, past or present. So that's an example there. Psychology, a lot of that's about personalities of the brain. So you found a picture of the brain is a good one. Economics could be anything about money or business or stuff like that. This image here, which they probably did a search for economics, it looks like business people in a globe and, probably doing trade. So political science got a picture of the Capitol and so on. Okay. And some are going to be easier than others. Social phenomenon, I don't know. This here looks interesting, like people observing. So if you don't find something by using the term up here, just look in the definition. Oh, people observing. Maybe that's something to be interesting. Like I said, I'm not real picky. I'm, just make a good faith effort to find some photo or graphic for every single slide. Okay. Now, when you get to some of these, like August Comte, which we'll watch a video on Thursday in class for the C group people, Comte, obviously, you to look for a picture of him, or Harriet Martineau, or Herbert Spencer, or Karl Marx, or Emil Durkheim, or it's pronounced Max Weber. It's like a German pronunciation of the W because he was German, and so on. Okay. So ultimately, that's what you're doing. So instead of having a chapter one of a textbook and having you write a lot of notes or answer a lot of questions, I'm having you make a multimedia slideshow. Okay. And most people are going to use Google Slides on that. So that's the big project. Now, originally I was thinking having it due Friday because I wanted people to really plug away at that. And that's the big project of the week. And you're not going to have time in class to do all of it. You can have some time in class to get some of it. The H group people got started on it on Monday and Tuesday. I'll talk about this in class tomorrow and give you some time to work on it for at least half of the block tomorrow. But you will not have the time in class between Thursday and Friday to get this entirely done. So originally it was going to be due Friday, but for the C group people, that might be a little bit of a challenge, especially the second week of the semester. So I extended it into next week so don't wait. I mean, plug away at it. The sooner you get it done, the better. Or some people like to do a little at a time, do 5 or 10 slides at a time because you're going to be making quite a few on this first one. Okay. So this is a big project. I don't like to have due dates on a weekend. So if I'm going to extend a due date from a Friday, I'm probably going to go at least till Monday. Okay. Now, related to that is this assignment here. This assignment are all videos that relate to the chapter one notes. Okay. But it's a separate assignment. So there are 5 videos here, one of which you've already seen. I showed this in class last week, but you'll probably have to watch it again to do the assignment. And then we got 4 other videos that are 4 different people from sociology from the early years of getting started of sociology. Now, I may show some of these in class over the next 2 days, but I may not get to all of them. And so, if you get some of this done in class, great. We'll try to see what we can get done. But again, it's not to get everything done in class. We're only there 2 days a week. So I think everyone's fully capable to finish it up. Or if you get an early start, you get it done early. Now, what happens if you did read all this and you got started on it and maybe you had this assignment done and did a fantastic job in its entirety before you arrive tomorrow? No problem. If I give you time to work on slides and then I say, okay, now we're going to switch over and work on some of this and I'll put a couple of the videos on. And if you had this done and you did a great job, you could just keep working on your slides. I mean, occasionally I have students who do that and that's fine. If you get something done and we're doing something in class that you've already finished, you can use your time to work on some other stuff that you need to do for the week. And if you got all my work done for me and you got some time in class and you need to work for something or another class, that's usually not a problem. Just let me know. Um, so, so this here will be some videos are short, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes. They're not that long. So we'll be doing this. Now for this assignment here, oftentimes one of two things happens with these Google Docs. Either I make one that's designed to be shared with you, which is this one, which I'll get to in a moment, or I may put all the detailed directions up here, and then I ask you just open up a Google Doc and just make your own. So then you gotta make your own, look at my info. Now, if I put a bunch of questions, let's say I had 5 questions that are numbered 1 through 5, you could copy and paste it into your Google Doc and then work on it yourself. Or you could simply put 1 through 5 with the name of the assignment and your name at the top and just put your answers. But in a lot of cases like this, I share a document with you and you can just open it like that. And then you know it looks like I'm gonna have a visitor sneaking up behind me here. That's my cat. He shows up once in a while, see what's going on. So then you got these videos here. Now, a lot of things we're going to be doing in here are about summary and opinions. A summary is just you summarizing what the video covered. Does that mean you have to write about everything in the video? Of course not. You can just hit some of the major points. If you're not sure what to write about, you can write about some examples from the video that are said or some facts in there. You're not covering everything in there. Just try to, look at the main points, and you're putting in your own words, and you're kind of like, think of it like this. Like if someone didn't see that video and they only read what you wrote, well, they have some idea what that video is about. Okay. Now I throw in the word opinion there because you can have some opinion. Now, some of these videos, there may not be a whole lot of like, you really don't have a lot of opinion on. You're just kind of learning about somebody, and it may be more of just a summary without much or any opinion. And that's okay. Not every video do you have to have an opinion on. But if you did have some opinion, maybe you found something interesting, something you like, something you found weird, whatever it may be, and you want to include some of that in there, that's okay. So we're going to be doing that with a lot of different videos. And when I give criteria like 4+ sentences, you do your good faith effort under that video to do at least 4 sentences and do a nice job and do the best you can. Then you get full credit. Now, I've had students write like 1 sentence or 2 sentences when it says 4+ sentences. To me, they're not even trying. They're not even making an attempt to get full credit. They're like, I don't care. I'll just put 1 sentence. Well, of course, when it's worth 25 points for the assignment, there are 5 questions. That's basically 5 points a question. So if you're doing 1 or 2 sentences, you're already losing a few points just on that question. Because even if what you wrote was okay, it's still not enough. And it's not much. I don't ask you to write much. This is pretty easy stuff. And I know some people are going to get it more than others, and some people are, it might be a little harder for them to write 4 or 5 sentences on. For others, it's going to be super easy. They could write 2 pages on it if they had to. But either way, do your best, and it should be pretty self-explanatory. So I moved the due dates for these 2 assignments into next week, Thursday. But like I said, don't just count on class time. You're going to have to do a significant amount of it outside of class. So use your time on that. This assignment here may knock that one out first. It's easy. In my view, it's interesting. So today would be a good day to get this one out of the way so you don't have to worry about it. And like I said, whenever there's a due date, that means midnight on that due date. If the due date's a Friday, I'll just tell you up front, I almost never grade this kind of stuff like the next day, like on a Saturday. So if you were running a little behind, something came up on Friday and you're trying to get something finished, if you can get it done, great. That's what you should do. But if, say, some family event came up or something unusual and you needed to finish it the next day, get it in as quick as possible. And that's usually not an issue because I usually not going to get to it the next day. Usually going to take me at least another day or so to get to it. So that's kind of the update of what's going on this week and some information about how I do things. I'm going to get out of this here. And thanks, Zach and Brody, for joining me today. And those that aren't here live, this recording, I'll post it. And you can watch the recording, which I'll recommend everybody to do in the C group or anyone that was absent on Monday and Tuesday from the H group. So tomorrow and Friday, we'll be watching at least 2 of the videos. Not, we probably won't watch all of them. And we'll have time and I'll go over and you can get at least some of your slides done in class. Okay. I don't know if either of you guys that are here have a question.
I'm all set.
You're all set?
Yeah, thank you.
Both are all set? Okay. Well, thanks for joining me. Take care. Have a good day.
Yeah,
I'll see
too.
you tomorrow. Look forward to see you guys tomorrow and everybody else. And like I said, we'll do these on Wednesdays at 9:30. I think that'll probably work out okay. And that'll help. Okay. Have a great day. Take care.
All right, bye, Mr. Rowe.
Yep. See ya.